Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDecks, and the Smash Bros Ultimate roster is finally complete. Sora has finished it off in spectacular fashion and is an amazing fighter to have indeed. And one great thing about the roster being finished is now we can finally do proper ranked videos on the fighters without it needing to be adjusted later on. I could rank the fighters as a whole, but I instead wanted to break it down smaller and take a look at the moves themselves. Today I will be looking at every character's neutral B special attack and see which characters have the best moves. Just remember, this is my personal list. I am not ranking them solely on how powerful they are or the speed they can be used or so forth. I'm not that technically minded. I am ranking them based purely on how useful I find them and how much I enjoy using them. My list will undoubtedly be different from yours as we all have different playstyles, so let me know in the comments down below what your favourite neutral B moves are. There are 89 fighters in Smash, but I'm also going to be including the Mii fighters' different moves too, so there are 95 moves to get through, which was no small task in ordering them. If this video does well enough, I'll take on the other special moves and maybe final smashes as well. So show support if you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe, and now sit back, relax, as I go through every single neutral B move in Super Smash Bros Ultimate from my personal least favourite to most favourite. Number 95, Squirtle, Water Gun. I'm not too keen on this one, it pushes people back a bit and does no damage. Useful for edge guarding, but I can never get the hang of it. 94 and 93, Pocket from Isabelle and Villager. These two have the same neutral B, you can put an item or an enemy's projectile in your pocket to use later on. I see its use, but I personally never use this move, especially since I like to play no items. Number 92, Olimar, Pikmin Pluck. Olimar pulls Pikmin out of the ground. It's obviously useful as you need those Pikmin to attack, but when the Pikmin are out, the button does nothing. It kind of bothers me that this is needed for Olimar to be any good, but then I never play as Olimar, so I don't find this move useful. Number 91, Shulk, Monado Arts. This lets Shulk power up to a certain aspect such as his smash, jump or speed. I don't really use this much as I find Shulk a good enough fighter without the need to create a buff, but it's a cool feature for sure. Number 90, Yoshi, Egg Lay. This was my favourite move in the N64 original due to how funny it was. Yoshi eats his opponent and lays them as an egg. You can attack the egg, but mostly my opponent breaks out before I can attack, so it's not very useful. Number 89, Steve, Minecraft or Create Block. I decided to put the moves that don't do damage down the bottom, but this is the most useful of all those kinds of moves. Mining for materials which differ depending on the terrain, and creating blocks as well is fun. Number 88, Banjo, Egg Firing Breagull Blaster. You simply shoot eggs at your opponent. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but keep pressing it and you activate the Breagull Blaster, which I find kind of annoying as it limits your movement. Number 87, Min Min, Punch. Pretty much just a punch, with different results depending on what arm is equipped, and a pretty good reach, but still just a basic punch. Number 86, Jigglypuff, Rollout. This move is awesome when it hits, but more often than not I miss with it and I find it difficult to control and often end up rolling off the stage. Number 85, Mr. Game & Watch, Chef. Flip sausages at your opponent. They do a little bit of damage and create a bit of knockback, but they aren't anything special. Number 84, Diddy Kong. Another food related move. You shoot peanuts that don't do much damage. You can hold it down to charge it up for a more powerful shot, but hold it too long and you overheat and get stunned for a short while. Number 83, Joker, Gun. A gun in Nintendo? My word. It has range, but it doesn't do much damage. If you have the Arsene, then it does more damage. Number 82, Bayonetta, Bullet Climax. Similar to Joker, but you can charge your shot as well. Number 81, Inkling, Splatter Shot. Another gunshot attack. Instead you cover your opponent with ink that makes them take more damage from your other attacks. When low on ink you can refill your tank as well. Number 80, Pit, Palutena Bow. Shoot a straight arrow at your opponent. This doesn't feel as satisfying as later bow attacks I'll mention. Holding up or down lets you steer the arrow. Number 79, Dark Pit, Silver Bow. Same as Pit's except the arrow doesn't curve as sharply, which I prefer. Number 78, Sheik, Needle Storm. Throw needles at your opponent. Can also be charged. It's a fast move but not too strong. Number 77, Palutena Auto Reticle. Another projectile that locks onto an opponent and blasts some shots at them. Doesn't do much damage and you need to be in range for it to work. Number 76, Mii Sword Fighter Shuriken of Light. Shoot a shuriken to do some damage. It does more damage the further away you are. Number 75, Mega Man Metal Blade. Iconic move from Mega Man 2. Throw a metal blade at your opponent. It can be thrown in 8 directions and opponents can pick it up and use it against you. Number 74, Ice Climbers Ice Shot. Shoot out some mini icebergs. They slide along the ground, which is great, but they don't do a whole lot of damage. Number 73, Zero Suit Samus Paralyzer. A short range attack that can paralyse your opponents, but I don't find myself using this that much. Number 72, King Dedede Inhale. Suck up your opponent and then spit them out. The best thing about this is how he walks after swallowing someone. Number 71, Wario Chomp. Wario puts his opponents in his mouth and then chomps on them. It doesn't do much damage, but you can heal while doing it. You can also eat items this way to gain health. Number 70, Snake Hand Grenade. Throw a hand grenade, simple as that. It's great when it hits the opponent, but I do find it hard to aim this one properly. Number 69, Bowser Fire Breath. Hold the B button down to breathe fire on your opponents. Good for edge guarding, but the attack doesn't last too long. Number 68, Charizard Flamethrower. Pretty much the same as Bowser from what I can tell, but it gets a higher spot on this list because Charizard is more awesome. Number 67, Rob Robo Beam. Shoot a laser at your opponent. It's a nice attack, but it needs to be recharged. Number 66, Kazooie Devil Blaster. Another laser shot that doesn't need to be recharged, so it's better. Number 65, Duck Hunt Duo Trick Shot. A tin can appears which then gets shot with the zapper with every B press. It does some nice damage to your opponent if it hits, and I do find this one easier to attack with. Number 64, Falco Blaster. Shoot some lasers at your opponent. They're slower than Fox's, but we'll get to him later. Number 63, Wolf Blaster. Again, shooting your blaster at your opponent. It's a good move, but I don't use it as much as I do with Fox. Number 62, Mii Gunner Laser Blaze. Similar to the last two we talked about, kinda standard. It doesn't damage much, but it can flinch your opponent. Number 61 and 60, Peach and Daisy Toad. Peach and Daisy pull Toad from underneath their dresses and use them as shields, a useful counter when timed correctly. Number 59, Mii Sword Fighter Gale Striker. Shoot a tornado in front of you, doing more damage if you're closer. A good move, but nothing amazing. Number 58, Pac-Man Bonus Fruit. Charge this up to scroll through the different items you can throw at your opponent, each doing different damage. It's a fun one for sure, and difficult to stop at the right item. Number 57, Bowser Jr. Clown Cannon. Charge up and shoot a cannonball. Doesn't always get good results, but I can never resist using this. Number 56, Meta Knight Mac Tornado. Meta Knight spins in a tornado to damage those around him. It's an easy attack to hit when surrounded by opponents. Number 55, Rosalina and Luma Shot. Rosalina throws Luma at her opponents, making a nice impact on them, as well as allowing Luma to attack separately. Number 54, Pichu Thunder Jolt. Shoots electricity along the ground and it travels around the arena. It's useful for edge guarding, but Pichu annoyingly takes damage when he uses it. Number 53, Pikachu Thunder Jolt. Like Pichu, but he doesn't take damage, so this one's one space higher. Number 52, Fox Blaster. I love this one. Your opponent doesn't flinch at all, but it's so fast you can rack up damage quite nicely here. Number 51, Luigi Fireball. Luigi shoots green fireballs that move vertically in the air and has a nice fire effect. Number 50, Mario Fireball. Same as Luigi, but it bounces along the ground, which I prefer, and is great for disrupting people trying to jump back up onto the stage. Number 49, Dr. Mario Mega Vitamins. I just like the sound the pills make. Number 48, Terry Power Wave. Terry sends a wave of energy out in front of him, great for keeping your opponent on their toes, or off the ground at least. Number 47, Cloud Blade Beam. I see this as being similar to Terry's in concept, but when your limit meter is full, it's even stronger on impact. Number 46, Greninja Water Shuriken. Shoot out a water shuriken, as the name suggests. It can also be charged up. Number 45, Zelda Nehru's Love. Zelda creates a shield around herself which damages opponents nearby, a useful one to break out when people get too close, and it can also reflect projectiles. Number 44, Ivysaur Bullet Seed. Shooting seeds above you like bullets. This is a fun one to use and I love trapping people in it. Number 43 and 42, Ryu and Ken Hadouken. One of the most iconic fighting moves. Shooting a fireball in front of you can never be resisted. Doing the original input does a more powerful version. Number 41, Korin Dragon Fang Shot. A chargeable projectile and does a nice paralysis effect. Number 40, Piranha Plant Patooey. The name alone puts it in the top 40. Blow a spiky ball above you and choose a direction to launch it. The height of the ball determines the distance. Number 39, Incineroar Darkest Lariat. He spins around like a maniac and smashes into anyone nearby. It can do a fair bit of damage and send your opponents flying. Number 38, Ridley Plasma Breath. I find this much more effective than Bowser or Charizard's Fire Breath. Ridley shoots out one plasma ball with a button tap or several with a charge attack, and they generally provide good results. Number 37, Me Gunner Grenade Launcher. This is what I wish Snake's grenade attack was like. I find it easier to aim with and can therefore cause much more mayhem. Number 36, Wii Fit Trainer Sun Salutation. We'll see more similar moves than this later on, but I do love the projectiles that can be charged, stored and then used at the right time. Number 35, Robin Thunder. An electric attack that can be charged to create L Thunder or Arc Thunder. You have a limited meter for this that needs restoring over time, but it is definitely worth it. Number 34, Sonic Homing Attack. Press B to spin attack up in the air and hit on the desired target. This is a fun move to use and just always feels satisfying for me to pull off. Number 33, Me Brawler Flashing Mach Punch. A devastating combo attack which ends with an uppercut can be very useful to get some damage into your opponent in a tight squeeze. Number 32, Me Sword Fighter Blurring Blade. Feels similar to the previous entry, but I prefer the horizontal attack for this sort of thing. Number 31, Sora Magic. The newest fighter has a very interesting neutral B. He scrolls through 3 moves in succession using fire, electric and ice attacks. The thunder attack is my favourite, creating 3 bolts of lightning in front of him, and the ice effect is nice too. Number 30, Ness PK Flash. Shoot off a light that can be steered towards your opponent, making a powerful blast to take them out. Number 29, Lucas PK Freeze. Like PK Flash, but creates a frozen effect on your opponent. Number 28, Toon Link Hero's Bow. Now we're getting to the arrow attacks that I love using. Toon Link is the weakest of the 3 links in this regard. Number 27, Link Bow and Arrows. Link is my main in Smash and I use this move a lot and find it extremely useful to cause damage from a distance, keeping them down when they're trying to jump back on, and a fully charged arrow can cause some nice damage and knockback. I love it. Number 26, Young Link Fire Arrow. Of course this is the best of the 3 Link's arrow attacks. There's fire for crying out loud. Number 25, Pyra Flame Nova. Speaking of fire making things better, here's an awesome attack where you can charge up your sword attack, have it spin around you and slam it to the ground. Number 24, Mithra Lightning Buster. This may be lacking in fire, but it's a more fun attack to pull off with all those slashes, but no, that's just me. Number 23, Sephiroth Flare Mega Flare Giga Flare. This shoots a fireball in front of you. The longer you charge, the more powerful it is, but it also has a shorter range. This is a versatile move that depends on where your opponent is, but I find it very effective. Number 22, Me Brawler Shot Put. Maybe a strange one to rank so high, but I just love this one. It doesn't have a huge range, but it has good knockback, and I could just use this all day. Number 21 and 20, Rector and Simon Axe. This feels so good to use. Being a big fan of the old school Castlevania games, throw an axe in an arc pattern and it passes through terrain, so it's useful to attack people above you or for edge guarding too. Number 19, Byleth Failnaut. This is the move that won me over with Byleth being added. It takes a while to charge, but when it connects you won't find a more powerful arrow anywhere. Other than Link's Final Smash I suppose. Number 18, Ike Eruption. Charge up your sword and bring it down for a huge explosion causing devastation. It doesn't launch people as much as another similar move we'll get to later, and it does make him take 10% damage, but still excellent when hit right. Number 17 and 16, Lucina and Marth Shield Breaker. A chargeable move that will make Marth and Lucina strike their swords forward for a powerful attack. I only rate it above Ike's because you don't take damage yourself doing it. Number 15, Me Brawler Exploding Sidekick. A powerful kick that does 25% damage. I do enjoy these powerful attacks, as you can probably guess from the top end of this list. Number 14, Hero Frizz Frizzle Frizz. This is another fireball attack, but charged enough can be very powerful. I would have put this higher, but I feel this would have been more comfortable as a side B attack and Zap being his neutral, but again that's just me. Number 13, Little Mac, Straight Lunge. Another charge up attack, he lunges forward and causes a lot of damage. The setback being that he needs time to recover afterwards, but it's still worth it. When the KO meter is full, his neutral B becomes the KO uppercut for an even more powerful attack. Number 12, Me Gunner Charge Blast. Another charge attack, kinda like Samus's but not as good. Number 11, King K. Rool Blunderbuss. I love using this because there's a fair bit to it. Firstly, he shoots a cannonball at his opponent. You can continue to hold B with the ball still in the arena and you'll start sucking in the air around you. Either you suck your cannonball back and then shoot it out diagonally, or you can suck in your opponent and launch them. A very interesting move and an amazing one to use. Number 10, Mewtwo Shadow Ball. My favourite Pokemon has my 10th favourite neutral B, charging up a Shadow Ball to its full size and then throwing it at your opponent. I love how in any spare moment you just charge it up to store it at the right time. Number 9, Lucario Aura Sphere. Very similar to Mewtwo, but more powerful if Lucario has taken damage. I also like that it can damage an opponent if they touch it while it's charging, which I think Mewtwo's used to do in Melee. Number 8, Ganondorf Warlock Punch. A one-punch attack that's extremely powerful if a bit slow. You can also turn yourself around to punch behind you. Numbers 7 and 6, Chrom and Roy Flare Blade. Another charge attack, like Ike's where you take damage when it's fully charged. You do take a bit more damage with this one, but you can one-hit kill opponents with it even if they're on 0% damage. Devastating. I'd put Roy above Chrom here because of the fire. Number 5, Donkey Kong Giant Punch. Simple and to the point. You charge up a punch and then unleash it. May not be as flashy or effective as previous ones, but if you play as Donkey Kong and don't ensure you always have a fully charged up punch stored, then you are just bananas. Numbers 4 and 3, Dark Samus and Samus Charge Shot. The ultimate version of a charge up move. I love playing as Samus and just having this in the bank to unleash for complete devastation on my opponent is just amazing. Unless they're playing as Fox, then it's annoying. But overall, one of my favourite moves in the franchise. Number 2, Kirby Inhale. Kirby inhales an opponent and can spit them out again, but pressing B again while you've swallowed them will copy them. And not only does he get a costume representing that fighter, but he can also perform their neutral special as well. Yes, Kirby can perform everyone's special, and the costumes are just adorable too. So there we have it, Kirby, the ultimate fighter in the Ultimate Smash Bros. He can do every single neutral B move, so there was no other place I could put him than in the number 1 spot. Huh? What's that? He's in at number 2? What move in Smash Bros. Could possibly take a higher spot than this one? Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.